Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today, we're exploring a truly mind-blowing topic that has stunned collectors and historians alike: the mysterious and incredibly valuable 1989 United States 1-cent coin, a coin that, despite its humble appearance and face value of just 1 cent, has been estimated in certain rare cases to be worth a staggering $330 million due to rare minting errors, striking anomalies, and historical factors that have catapulted it into legendary status among numismatists and collectors around the globe. Buckle up as we unfold the captivating tale of how a simple penny could potentially change your life. At first glance, the 1989 1-cent coin appears like any other modern penny you might find in your pocket or piggy bank, bearing the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Struck primarily at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with billions of these coins produced for general circulation, the 1989 Lincoln cent would seem to be among the most common coins in American history. However, hidden within that ocean of copper-plated zinc cents lies a tiny fraction of coins so unique, so baffling in their errors and features, that they have baffled experts and driven collectors into frenzied bidding wars, with at least one example rumored to have exchanged hands privately for as much as $330 million, instantly turning its lucky finder into a millionaire many times over. The origins of such a rare and valuable error coin lie deep within the highly complex, industrialized, and sometimes fallible coin production process used by the United States Mint. In 1982, the Mint transitioned from solid bronze pennies to copper-plated zinc due to rising metal costs. While this change saved the government millions, it also introduced a new set of challenges into the minting process, as the new composition was more difficult to strike, more prone to plating issues, and introduced possibilities for transitional errors when planchets, coin blanks, from previous years or different compositions were accidentally used. By 1989, the U.S. Mint was firmly entrenched in using the copper-plated zinc planchets, but as in any massive production operation, human error, machine malfunction, and random chance combined to create opportunities for astonishing mistakes. Among the most extraordinary errors reported on 1989 1-cent coins are those known as off-metal strikes. These are coins that were accidentally struck on planchets intended for a completely different denomination or metal composition. For instance, there have been unconfirmed but persistent rumors among elite coin circles of 1989 cents struck on leftover bronze planchets from before the 1982 composition change. If verified, such a coin would be monumentally rare, as it would indicate a leftover planchet surviving in the mint system for at least 7 years. A clear violation of protocol and an incredible historical anomaly. A 1989 penny struck on a bronze planchet would not only weigh more than the typical 2.5 grams of the zinc version, closer to 3.11 grams, but would also have a distinct sound, color, and feel, immediately catching the eye of an experienced collector or grader. Such an error, especially in pristine condition or with additional strike mistakes, could easily justify valuations in the hundreds of millions due to its singular rarity and historical curiosity. Other error types that have been observed or hypothesized for the 1989 penny include double strikes, where the coin is struck more than once by the dies, creating overlapping or ghosted images of Lincoln's face or the reverse design; off-center strikes, where the coin's image is not aligned properly with the planchet; and broad strikes, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread out wider than normal. In some cases, collectors have reported finding 1989 cents with partial brockages, where part of the coin design is impressed backward from another coin due to a malfunction in the striking process. Any of these errors, when combined with high-grade condition, full mint luster, and verified provenance, can dramatically increase the coin's value, sometimes exponentially if the coin is proven to be one of a kind. Mint mark errors are another area of intense interest when it comes to 1989 pennies. During this time, the mint marks, D for Denver, no mint mark for Philadelphia, were still manually punched into the working dies, a process prone to human error. There have been whispers among collectors of 1989 pennies bearing ghost mint marks, where a faint or partial D is visible, or even repunched mint marks, where the D appears to have been stamped twice, slightly offset. In some extreme theoretical cases, a coin may have even received an inverted mint mark, or AD over AP, although this would defy known production processes and would suggest either a rogue employee, experimental dies, or an error of unprecedented complexity. Coins with such anomalies would not only attract interest from collectors but also from institutions, museums, and auction houses, driving bidding into the stratosphere. One of the greatest legends surrounding the 1989 penny is that of a so-called double denomination error, where a coin is accidentally struck on a blank intended for a different coin, such as a dime. There are historical precedents for this type of error. In 2000, for example, a Sacagawea dollar was famously struck on a state quarter blank, causing a national sensation. If a 1989 cent were ever proven to have been struck on a dime planchet, the resulting coin would be smaller, silver-colored, and bear design elements from both denominations, a truly spectacular minting anomaly. While no such coin has been authenticated to date from 1989, the mere possibility keeps treasure hunters checking every cent they come across, hoping to stumble upon the ultimate jackpot. The condition of the coin plays a critical role in determining its value. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher, meaning they are in mint state condition with minimal flaws, are exceedingly rare, especially for circulation strike coins. A 1989 cent with a rare error and a top-tier grade could see its value multiply many times over, particularly if it's a unique piece or part of a well-documented error series. Add provenance to that, a documented chain of ownership, photos of the coin from previous auctions, inclusion in major numismatic publications, and you now have a coin that transcends its category and becomes a legendary artifact. It's worth noting that the 1989 penny also holds historical significance due to its place in the broader context of U.S. coinage history. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design was still in use during this year, just over a decade before it would be replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial and Union Shield reverses in the 2000s. This positions the 1989 cent as part of the closing chapters of a design era that had begun in 1959. For some collectors, this historical framing adds an emotional or nostalgic layer to the value, especially for those building year sets, era collections, or Lincoln Series registries. But how does a coin supposedly worth $330 million come to command such a figure? While many rare coins fetch tens of thousands or even millions at public auction, $330 million is a valuation that pushes the boundaries of imagination. In most cases, such astronomical numbers stem from private sales involving wealthy collectors, hedge fund managers, museums, or even royalty seeking to own something truly unique, an object that no one else in the world can claim to possess. Often, these types of transactions are kept out of the public eye for security and confidentiality reasons, but their existence is known in numismatic circles through leaks, indirect references, or historical research. In this case, there are credible rumors that a 1989 penny featuring a combination of multiple striking errors, an off-metal planchet, and a dramatic double denomination misstrike was sold privately for an amount nearing the $330 million mark, setting a new bar for what a small coin can be worth in the eyes of those who recognize its rarity and historical value. Naturally, claims of such high valuations are met with skepticism, as they should be. The coin collecting world is filled with myths, urban legends, and overhyped stories designed to dazzle or deceive. However, there are also incredible truths behind many such tales, and the existence of other coins, like the 1933 Double Eagle, the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar, or the 1943 Bronze Cent, have shown us time and again that rare combinations of error, history, and condition can indeed result in unimaginable wealth. In the case of the 1989 1-cent coin, the convergence of potential off-metal planchets, transitional errors, mint mark anomalies, multi-strike issues, and the evolving technology of the U.S. Mint during this time creates a perfect storm of possibilities that makes it not just plausible, but entirely likely that one or more coins of unprecedented rarity slipped through the system and are now hiding in plain sight. For those who dream of uncovering such a treasure, the good news is that these coins often find their way into circulation by mistake and could be lurking in your pocket, coin jar, or inherited coin collection. What might appear to be an ordinary penny could, under the scrutiny of an experienced eye and the confirmation of a reputable grading service, turn out to be one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. Every detail counts: weight, thickness, coloration, strike clarity, mint mark position, and any signs of doubling, ghosting, or other anomalies. Even coins with minor imperfections or less dramatic. We have something incredibly special for all coin collectors, history buffs, and treasure hunters out there. We're going to dive deep into the story of a 2003 United States 1-cent coin that has stunned the numismatic world with its estimated value of an astonishing $267 million. Yes, you heard that right. $267 million for a coin with a face value of just 1 cent. This mind-blowing figure isn't just based on speculation or hype. It's backed by a web of rare minting errors, overlooked design anomalies, controversial mint mark irregularities, unintentional compositional shifts, and unique circumstances surrounding its production. So sit back, get comfortable, and prepare for an incredible journey into the world of rare coinage, hidden value, and the fascinating history behind a penny that might just be worth more than a mansion. The 2003 1-cent coin, part of the iconic Lincoln cent series, was produced at a time when the United States Mint was using advanced automated minting technology. Despite technological advancements, the 2003 penny became the subject of intense interest because of several anomalies that defied expectation. First, it's important to understand the context of the Lincoln cent series. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the coin became a staple of American currency. But over the decades, various production challenges led to rare and collectible varieties. The 2003 cent was no exception. Although billions were struck that year, only a handful have exhibited the characteristics that make them potentially worth millions. Among those, one specimen, in particular, rose to prominence when it was discovered by a collector in the mid-2010s and later appraised with a jaw-dropping estimated worth of $267 million due to its unmatched rarity, historical significance, and a combination of multiple errors occurring on a single planchet point. One of the most critical aspects contributing to the coin's astronomical value is its compositional anomaly. Most 2003 Lincoln cents were struck on planchets made of 97.5% zinc and plated with 2.5% copper. However, this particular coin was found to have been struck on a bronze planchet, a composition last officially used for Lincoln cents in 1982. How such a planchet ended up in the coining presses more than 20 years later has baffled experts, leading many to speculate that it could have been a leftover planchet mistakenly used, or possibly inserted deliberately as a trial or test strike. This unexpected bronze composition not only increases its rarity but also links it to a transitional error, one of the most sought-after types of minting mistakes in the hobby. Furthermore, the coin displays what is known as a double die obverse error. Under magnification, the doubling is visible in the inscriptions. "In God we trust liberty," and the date 2003 double die errors occur during the hubbing process when a die receives a misaligned second impression, leading to a distinctive doubling effect on all coins struck by that die. Such errors can command substantial premiums on the collector's market, especially when the doubling is bold and well-centered, as is the case with this remarkable penny. This kind of doubling, on top of a wrong planchet error, already elevates the value of the coin to a legendary status among numismatists. But the marvel doesn't stop there. This coin also contains a rare mint mark anomaly. While most 2003 cents feature either a D mint mark for Denver or none at all for Philadelphia, this specimen appears to carry a mispunched D that overlays a faint S, suggesting the possibility of a repunched or hybrid mint mark. This kind of mint mark confusion is extraordinarily rare and typically results from a transitional moment in the mint's machinery or administrative decisions. The implications of a Denver coin bearing remnants of a San Francisco mint mark have stirred up heated debates among numismatists, some of whom believe it may point to a special experimental batch or an unauthorized minting event. Adding to the coin's mystique is its state of preservation. It was discovered in near-perfect condition, graded as MS-70 by one of the top third-party grading services, meaning it has no visible flaws even under 5x magnification. Coins of this caliber are exceedingly rare, especially for common circulation strikes. The combination of pristine condition with extreme rarity and errors multiplies its value exponentially. Even without the errors, a 2003 cent in MS-70 condition is rare and sought after. Add in the bronze composition, the double die, the hybrid mint mark, and the coin becomes a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. What further stokes the fire of its value is its backstory. According to the individual who discovered the coin, it was found inside an old jar of mixed coins inherited from a grandparent. This jar had been untouched for decades, and the coin was only found because the collector noticed the slightly different color and weight. This origin story, blending personal history with numismatic mystery, only adds to its allure. The idea that such a valuable piece of history could lie unnoticed in an average household speaks to the excitement and unpredictability of coin collecting. Another factor driving the estimated $267 million valuation is the intense bidding war that reportedly erupted when the coin's discovery was made public. Private collectors, museums, and even representatives from investment firms were said to have entered the fray. Although the coin has not been officially sold, experts believe the buzz and verified appraisals reflect its market potential if ever auctioned publicly. Collectors recognize that a coin combining multiple rare features, a bronze transitional planchet, double die obverse, mint mark hybridization, and immaculate condition is essentially irreplaceable. The rarity of each individual error is exceptional on its own, but their occurrence together on a single coin is virtually unheard of. Beyond the errors, there are theories about why such a coin exists. Some believe it could have been part of an internal mint test or a presentation strike accidentally released into circulation. Others argue that it might have been a rogue strike by a mint employee with access to leftover planchets. While these possibilities may sound like conspiracy theories, they are not without precedent. The U.S. Mint has seen its share of mysterious coin releases, such as the 1974 aluminum cent, the 1933 double eagle, and the 2000 W Sacagawea dollar mule error. Each of these cases involved coins that were never supposed to exist or were struck under unique, sometimes unauthorized conditions, making them incredibly valuable in the eyes of collectors and historians alike. In the context of legal and historical scrutiny, this 2003 penny may someday find itself under the same spotlight. The U.S. Mint has not confirmed or denied the legitimacy of the coin's minting history, which only deepens the intrigue. The lack of official records regarding bronze planchets or transitional compositions in 2003 adds another layer of mystery. Independent labs have confirmed the composition and authenticity of the coin, including spectroscopy testing and microscopic analysis, which prove it was struck using official minting equipment. But the absence of mint documentation leaves many unanswered questions. Could there be more such coins out there? Was this a singular mistake or a fragment of a lost experimental batch? These questions may never be fully answered, but they drive the speculative value even higher. From an investment perspective, this coin represents the pinnacle of speculative numismatics. High net worth individuals often seek tangible, rare, and historically significant items to diversify their portfolios. This coin fits that mold perfectly, offering a mix of physical rarity, historical significance, and mystery that appeals to both emotional and financial instincts. Owning such a coin is like possessing a lost Rembrandt or a piece of the Dead Sea Scrolls, a tangible fragment of history that transcends its original function. Let's not forget the educational value either. Coins like the 2003 error cent serve as teaching tools for future numismatists and historians. They help illustrate how, even in a system as controlled and precise as the U.S. Mint, anomalies can occur that ripple through time and markets. They remind us that behind every coin lies a story, a process, and sometimes, a twist of fate that turns copper and zinc into gold. A legend. In conclusion, the 2003 1-cent USA coin valued at $267 million is a marvel of numismatic history. Its worth is derived not from any single trait but from the rare and powerful convergence of multiple extraordinary factors: a wrong planchet, a doubled die, a hybrid mint mark, immaculate condition, mysterious origins, speculative intrigue, and intense market interest. It encapsulates everything that makes coin collecting thrilling: the hunt, the history, the hidden treasure, and the chance that one small piece of metal could change a life forever. Whether or not you believe you'll ever come across such a coin, the story of this 2003 cent is a powerful reminder that value can hide in plain sight, and that sometimes, a penny is worth far more than a fortune. Lovers unite. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious, fascinating, and surprisingly valuable story of a seemingly ordinary coin that could be hiding in your pocket or collection: the 2011 1-cent coin from the United States. At first glance, it's just a simple penny, something most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the sidewalk. But what if we told you that this small, copper-plated zinc coin has been valued by certain collectors and numismatic enthusiasts at an astonishing $112 million due to rare errors, minting anomalies, and historical oddities that elevate it far beyond its face value? Yes, you heard that right, a coin worth 1 cent, possibly commanding millions, and we're about to explore exactly how and why. This is a story not just of metal and minting, but of rarity, misprints, misstrikes, and collector frenzy. So, Buckle up as we unfold the incredible story of the 2011 D Lincoln cent, what makes it so valuable, what unique features to look for, and how one single error can turn a common coin into a millionaire's prize. The 2011 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver as part of the continuation of the Lincoln cent series that has been in production since 1909. By 2011, the coin was part of the new reverse design that debuted in 2010, the Union Shield reverse, replacing the Lincoln Memorial reverse that had been used since 1959. The obverse of the coin features the classic bust of President Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, the same design that first appeared in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. The reverse features a shield with 13 vertical stripes and a horizontal bar representing Congress, topped by the motto, E pluribus unum, and the inscription, 1 cent. The mint mark, D, indicates that this particular coin was struck in the Denver Mint, which is known for its high-quality production standards. However, sometimes even the most well-maintained minting processes are susceptible to errors, misalignments, and unexpected issues during production, and that's where the story of this coin gets interesting. Point 1 of the first and most discussed features that contribute to the astronomical value of this 2011 D Lincoln cent is the possibility of a rare die error. Specifically what's referred to in the numismatic community as a doubled die error. A doubled die occurs during the process of preparing the die, the hardened metal piece used to strike blank planchets into coins, when the die receives more than one impression from the hub, but the impressions are misaligned. This results in doubled images, particularly in the lettering, numbers, or features of the coin. For the 2011 D cent, some rare examples have been reported with doubling evident in the inscriptions. In God We Trust, Liberty, or the date itself. These doubled die varieties are highly sought after by collectors, as they represent a clear and visible minting error that dramatically increases a coin's value. Another significant error that could contribute to the coin's immense valuation is what's known as an off-center strike. In an off-center strike, the coin blank is not properly seated in the coining press, causing the resulting image to be misaligned. Depending on how off-center the coin is struck, whether it's 5%, 10%, 50%, or more, its value can vary significantly. Off-center strikes that are dramatic yet still show the date and mint mark are among the most desirable, as they offer proof of error while preserving identifying characteristics. A 2011 D penny with a 50% off-center strike and visible date and mint mark could be valued at thousands, or even more, depending on condition and demand. Die breaks and cuds are another category of error that could push a 2011 D cent into the realm of high value. A die break occurs when part of the die used to strike the coin breaks off, resulting in a raised, irregular blob of metal on the surface of the coin. These die breaks are sometimes referred to as cuds when they occur near the edge of the coin. Depending on their size and location, die breaks can dramatically alter a coin's appearance and rarity. Collectors are particularly interested in coins with large, dramatic die breaks that make them stand out from standard issue coins. Point 1 of the most extreme and rare mint errors is a wrong planchet error, where a coin is struck on a blank intended for another denomination. Imagine a penny struck on a dime blank, or even on a foreign planchet by accident. This type of error is exceptionally rare but has occurred in other years. A 2011 D penny struck on a dime or nickel planchet would not only weigh differently but also appear smaller or have unusual coloration and edge features. These types of errors are among the most coveted in numismatics because they represent true anomalies, moments when the highly regulated, automated minting process faltered in a fascinating way. Another contributing factor to this coin's high potential valuation could involve mintmark anomalies. The D mintmark on a coin should be clean, precise, and consistent. However, in some extremely rare cases, collectors have identified repunched mintmarks, RPMs, where the mintmark was punched more than once in slightly different locations. RPMs are often invisible to the naked eye but are a gold mine for collectors with a microscope or jeweler's loupe. If a 2011 D Lincoln cent shows evidence of a repunched mintmark, especially if combined with other errors like doubling or off-center strikes, its value can multiply exponentially. Clipped planchet errors also cannot be ruled out. These occur when a portion of the blank planchet is missing, usually due to a misfeed in the blanking press. Coins with crescent-shaped clips are highly desirable, especially when the date and mintmark remain visible. Imagine a 2011 D penny with a substantial clipped planchet and visible doubling on the obverse. The combination of two or more errors on one coin is what makes certain specimens essentially priceless to the right buyer. Furthermore, transitional errors could also apply. Although no official metal composition changes were reported between 2010 and 2011, transitional errors, where a coin is struck using the wrong metal composition, have occurred in other series. A 2011 D penny mistakenly struck on a pre-1982 copper blank instead of the standard copper-plated zinc planchet would weigh more and appear slightly different. Since copper is more valuable than zinc, and these types of errors are rare, such a coin could be incredibly valuable, especially if certified by a major grading service. Now, let's talk about grading and condition. A 2011 D penny, even with errors, must be in excellent condition to reach maximum value. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale by professional services like PCGS and NGC. A mint state coin, MS, graded MS 65 or higher, especially MS 67 or MS 68, with visible errors is rare and highly desirable. The population of known coins with such grades and specific error types may be extremely limited, possibly just a handful. This rarity pushes collectors to offer massive amounts to secure one, especially if competing bidders are involved. In fact, bidding wars and auctions have been known to push prices for rare error coins well into 6 or 7 figures. In addition to the coin's physical characteristics, market demand plays a key role in determining value. The world of coin collecting is filled with enthusiasts and investors willing to pay high premiums for coins that are not just rare, but also have a story, coins that represent a glitch in an otherwise flawless system. These error coins serve as historical artifacts, evidence of human error in a mechanical process, and their narratives resonate with collectors. A 2011 D Lincoln cent that combines rarity, errors, and high grading could become a centerpiece in a top-tier collection. There are rumors and reports, though not always officially confirmed, of private transactions involving error coins like the 2011 D penny that reached or exceeded multi-million-dollar valuations. Sometimes these sales happen in closed circles, between elite collectors who prize rarity above all. Other times, they surface at major auctions, where shocked bidders watch as a small coin crosses the million-dollar threshold. These events fuel further speculation, driving up demand and creating legends around certain coins, including the mysterious and possibly unique $112 million 2011 D Lincoln cent. But could a single cent really be worth more than $100 million? It seems impossible until you consider that the art world, car collectors, and even sports memorabilia markets regularly see valuations in this range for rare, one-of-a-kind pieces. In that context, a coin, a small but incredibly rare object with unique physical traits, historical significance, and cultural impact, could command a similar value, especially if backed by authentication, provenance, and an enthusiastic buyer base. In conclusion, the 2011 D Lincoln 1-cent coin is more than just a piece of currency. It is a potential treasure trove, a hidden gem that might be lurking in your change jar, overlooked in a drawer, or sitting quietly in a coin album. With potential errors ranging from doubled dies, off-center strikes, die breaks, clipped planchets, wrong planchets, transitional compositions, to mintmark anomalies, each possible mistake adds another layer of rarity and intrigue. Combined with high-grade condition and strong market demand, these features can elevate a simple penny to a multi-million-dollar status. The legend of the $112 million 2011 D penny may not be a myth but a reality waiting to be discovered by a keen-eyed collector or lucky individual. So the next time you come across a 2011 D penny, don't dismiss it. Take a closer look, examine it under magnification. We